Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
We're feeling campy today. Oh, wait.
I really want to go outside right now.
Yeah. It is the season to be preparing for camp. With nice weather here in the Midwest, all we can think about is being outdoors more.
Mm-hmm.
And continuing our conversation on camp study, joining us today, Bob Polansky is Executive Director at Camp Wartburg, Waterloo, Illinois. Bob, welcome to the Coffee Hour.
Hey, thank you both, Andy and Sarah.
We are looking forward to talking about camp, and I just have to share, I'm excited learning more about Camp Wartburg today because my son is signed up for his first camp at Camp Wartburg without mom and dad. We're not doing family camp. He's actually going to camp as a kiddo this year. So,
I hope he's coming with friends or coming with a whole plan of making friends, because friends are what it's all about. So.
He is attending with a friend this summer, so good. He's pretty stoked, pretty excited about it. Way more excited than mom and dad, who are like, "Yep, it's going to be great. We know, we love camp. We met at camp, so we're excited about him going to camp." We're like, his first time though. So, what happens at summer camp, Bob? What happens at summer camp at Camp Wartburg?
Well, I already mentioned friendships, and some of those friendships can last a lifetime. The friends that I went and worked at camp, I still maintain good relations with many of them. And so it's kind of cool to share, the annual Christmas card and stuff like that. But my daughter and my son both have friends that they made at camp, long-term friends, as in like in your wedding friends. And so those are cool. But we're also here just to share the gospel message, which is, our number one thing. Speaking to the parents out there, our number one priority is provide a good, safe environment. We want them to have a great experience. So, Andy, your camper will come back with hopefully wonderful, good stories. And that's what's really, really important. So we want to, I get to talk about it all the time, is if a kid comes to camp without a Bible, they leave with a Bible here, which is very important. But we are doing... Our theme this year is In All Things, which sounds really familiar, like the youth gathering, because it is the same theme with the youth gathering. So we always partner up with the Synod Youth Ministry Department, and we love doing the Bible studies that they are doing for the youth gathering. So that's kind of a real quick answer.
What are some things that set apart Camp Waterloo from other camps? What makes it unique for the campers that are going to be there this summer?
Well, Camp Watrburg has some very unique programming, and the one I will say that excites me greatly, I have a big smile on my face, so is caving camp is back. Illinois caverns have been closed for about 12 years because of the white nose syndrome, which was affecting the bats, but they elected partway through the summer last year, the state decided, because it's a state-owned facility, that they're going to reopen them, and they did it last year, but we could not, talk about it, promote it, or do anything. We took our team leadership program in the caves, but that was about it. So this, we're caving with our WOW camp, which is our sampler camp, and we're doing just an all out-and-out caving camp too. And then I will also even put a plug in for Heights Point. Heights Point's doing a caving camp. And they got a wonderful leader that would be me, going there for a week and spending time talking about safe caving and having wonderful experiences. But caving, one of our niche camps, and we're really happy about that. We also have high ropes and low ropes. We've got a pool. We've got a pond. So we do pond studies and pond canoeing. We go canoeing on a couple of different rivers. We have the ability to go do that. But it is pretty much everything that you would want to do at a camp. We probably do it. We have some very unique programs. And then we have one new program with the popularity of pretty much peaky, or maybe a peak last year or during COVID for sure, board games. We're doing a board game camp this year. So come and play board games, in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, and board games, and more board games. So I know they're very popular with kids and adults right now.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds super fun.
It's like the best camp for introverts who don't want to talk. You just play board games.
Right.
Yeah, it's your turn. It's really nice.
Exactly. I'm all about it. So how does camp then connect to what happens at home and at church? How does camp support parents and pastors and other leaders in the church and what they're doing with youth back at home?
Sure. I think a couple of things that we do here that I think that are very unique and we play some games out here. We have Bible studies out here. We get to learn. I mean, one of the key things I talk about with our staff is we get the glorious opportunity to connect the Word of God and the world of God. It's the one thing that we really get to do is you're out in God's creation and you're enjoying it. You know, one of the first commands God gives to us is to take care of that creation. And so we get to compliment churches, schools, families, and just say, hey, we're here to talk about recycling. We're here to talk about care for nature. We're also, I took a couple of nature hike school groups out last week. And it was like, even just out enjoying the flowers, enjoying the bird sounds and all those things, it really makes you appreciate the wonders of God's creation. But I mean, we are here to complement whatever. I mentioned before Bibles. If we have somebody who is unchurched, we will try and hook them up with a pastor or a church, and so that they can get connected back in their community. And for some families, they have no connection. So it's a really good opportunity for us to say, hey, somebody here is really interested in getting a little bit more involved with their church community in their town where they live. And so from time to time, we do make those connections.
So who usually attends camp? What are the age ranges for these camps?
We are very unique. Camp Watrburg does every kind of camp for all school age range kids. So if your kid is going into kindergarten or first grade, we pretty much can do a shorter term camp or something that's a little more kid friendly. We have a couple that are very popular, First Flight. We also have Fantasy and Fun. I think, Andy, isn't that what your son's signed up for?
I don't remember the name of it. It's
it's a fantasy camp where, they come out and they pretend to be superheroes one day. They pretend to be pirates one day. It's kind of funny. You can go online and you can see there's a picture of a canoe that's all decked out to look like a pirate ship. So it's just a lot of fun imagination play. And then when we get into the more medium range kids, the 4th through 8th graders, man, there's a great majority of camps that are open and available for them. All those activities that I mentioned before, horseback riding, fishing, etc. All of those, paintball. We have a wide variety. So you can check us out on our website. And then the older kids, we really concentrate more on leadership with our teens. And so we have a couple weeks of teen leadership programs. And then we also have a strong junior counselor program with hopefully the plans that they would hopefully become a counselor later on.
Speaking of the leadership at camp, tell us about the staff who leads the kids at camp this summer. Where do they come from, and do you still have spots you need filled?
Yes. And yes, we collect staff from across the country. All of the NLOMA staff, we go through a thing called joint recruitment where everybody kind of helps recruit in their region for a camp. I was just at the U of I in Champaign talking to a Lutheran Student Fellowship group and said, basically, you could get a job at any camp. There's like 27 different camps across the country. You could go to NLOMA.org. They tell you where they all are, and you can kind of pick. I wish they had that when I was younger. I'm way older than NLOMA because I probably would not have stayed in the middle when you have the opportunities to serve in the mountains or, on the Gulf Coast or something like that. There are some really awesome opportunities to go and be a camper, let alone be a staff. But the staff come from all over. We're looking for pretty much high school graduates. We would love to have them with preferred college, but right now, there are so many openings across all of the camps. I would say, if you are interested, if you're looking for a summer job that you not only get to give a lot, but you also get to get way more back. I have great memories from my time of serving. I served 3 summers, and so it was awesome. But yeah, go NLOMA.org, and that is where you can go, and there's an application form, and it will get sent to one of your first or second choice camps, and away you go.
Sounds fantastic. Do you get feedback from the counselors every year? What are some stories that they've shared about their times at camp?
Some are very awesome stories. I mean, one thing I'm really proud of is we've sent quite a few men to the seminary. We get a lot of Lutheran school teachers that come through here. This place is just an awesome resource. It's an awesome opportunity for them to gain some skills that they're going to use the rest of their life. Even if you just are a parent, you're going to learn some great parenting skills and some discipline techniques and how to manage your kids. All those skills are just so useful.
So how do families sign up for camp? And two, if you are looking for for staff for the summer, how do they find out more about participating in camp again?
Sure. If you're looking for a great camp, you could start by going just to NLOMA.org. And on there, if you're looking for a job or just looking for a camp, you could find the camp that is near you. Once again, that's NLOMA, NLOMA.org. And that will get you, and that will show you all the camps across the country that are pretty much Missouri Synod camps. And then, if you're in the St. Louis area, Camp Wartburg, we are the only Camp Wartburg in the whole wide world. So you can just do a good Google search of Camp Wartburg, and you'll find some good pictures and sign-ups. We do day camp, we do overnight camp, we do all sorts of stuff.
And since you mentioned you're in the St. Louis area, can you give us brief directions from if you're coming from the Missouri side and if you're coming from the Illinois side?
Sure. I'm telling everybody, plan a little bit of extra time these next couple of years. We are just across the JB Bridge, which is the south side of St. Louis Bridge. And it's under construction, so they've limited the lanes starting, I think, yesterday or the day before. And so leave a little early. But yeah, we are across the JV Bridge and it's almost 4 lanes most of the way to camp. It's 45 minutes from the seminary or the arch and not too far at all. So very close to South County. And we serve beyond even the St. Louis region, too. So we have friends, relatives, kids that come as far away from, like, Hawaii. We've had kids from Hawaii come to camp. We've also had kids from China come to camp. So those are 2 records that I probably won't beat. So.
Camp Wartburg in Waterloo, Illinois. Our guest today, Bob Polansky, Executive Director. I'm ready to sign up for camp, Bob. Thanks so much for being our guest on the Coffee Hour today.
Anytime and always. God's blessings to you, too.
You've been listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
Arg. Sign me up for pirate camp. All right. Thanks so much, Bob.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.